What is going on, rock bouncing fans? We got a special video for you today, but I gotta start out with cleaning up all this mess. I know you guys have seen me do this enough times, so I am not gonna film it all, but I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse at what I'm dealing with right before winter. All right, so the long-term followers of the channel already know what I'm doing. I am doing fall cleanup. We got snow in the forecast, and I need to get rid of all of these leaves and all the acorns that you can't see. But the my reasoning for that is because during springtime, come April 18th, when we have our season opener, we usually still have snow, or I usually still have snow right up until the week before race day. So trying to get the park clean in springtime with all the wet leaves that are possibly still frozen is pretty much impossible. So over time, I've learned to do a big cleanup right before the snowfall, and I do one last rock bouncing video, and that's pretty much a close on the rock bouncing for 2025. But I got a big cleanup to do, so I'm gonna get started. All right, it has been about 40 minutes, and this is how far I've gotten. I'm not going to bother filming anymore, but figured I'd show you guys just a quick update. It also took me so long because I cleared out all over there, and I cleared out the drainage ditch that protects all the hills for when we get heavy rain. So I'm going to continue on for probably about another 45 minutes and clean out the rest of this. I do have Blue Dream and a battery charging up there. A little over an hour later, we got all the leaves pushed into the river. Holy crap, that was a lot. Even pushed some of the acorns. As you can see, there's still a bunch around, but park is much cleaner, and so is the drainage ditch. So I want to head up to the top and grab Blue Dream and a battery, maybe two. Man, daylight savings time is hitting hard. It is chilly down here right about now. The sun went down over the mountains, and yeah, it's chilly. Anyway, we got a Blue Dream down here. If you haven't guessed it by the title of the video, this is Blue Dream's last run with me. After this, it is going to the sandblasters to get sandblasted, along with Hazard Buggy and Cockroach. I'll tell you the story. If you make it to the end of the video, I'll tell you the story of what's happening with those. And if you're new to the channel, I'll show you Hazard Buggy. But yeah, this is gonna be Blue Dream's last run with me. I think I've had it for 3 years now. I think I've run it for 3 years now. And it's been my main race chassis. It's been absolutely awesome. I absolutely love it. It was my first Keller RC Performance chassis, and I have no complaints. It worked awesome. I did ended up changing the speed control mount, which my epoxy gave away, so that's why it's zip tied in there right now. But that was the only thing I changed, is I just moved the speed control mount, and it has two different colored links up front because it's been through battle for the past year or so, and the past couple of times it's been out, I broke one, so I stole one off a Cockroach, hence why it's a different color. But yeah, so I did decide to put the original rims back on it. If you don't know the story of Blue Dream, the quick story is it was my first Keller RC Performance chassis, and then all the original parts that were on it were from my trip that I went to Key City Hobby in Frederick, Maryland, which is the headquarters of Super Shafty. So all the parts that were on it were all Super Shafty, which right now the only Super Shafty parts on it is the rear axle and the rims, and I believe the rear trailing arms. But yeah, I kind of exploded the front one and yeah. But anyway, the story behind Blue Dream was that was kind of my favorite color is blue, and the dream part of the name was it was my first Keller RC Performance chassis, and all the parts that used to be on it were from my trip to Super Shafty headquarters to build hills for them. And that was my shopping spree. I got to go on a little shopping spree to that was my prize, I guess, for building them hills out there. But anyway, so we're probably gonna go kind of easy at the start, and then I do have another battery in my pocket if it does make it to the end, and we're probably gonna go pretty hard on it. So let's see what we get into. All right, we're gonna start you guys out on the tripod, and then I will move you guys in closer for some close-up shots. This is definitely a proven race chassis. This buggy has been on the podium many times over the years, and it was the only buggy to make it up one of the Bounty Hills. So it has done very well and served me very well, but it's time to move on. I needed that cone down here anyways. I gotta take all my stuff, all my shovels and all the cones, go all the way back up to the top so they don't get buried in snow. Alright, let's see. Can you see, guys? Yeah, I'll move you over here for water hazard. We'll do one more on the tripod, and then I will get you guys in closer and we'll turn it on slow-mo. And I'll probably start beating on it a little harder. make things interesting. Blue Dream is still holding together. As you can see, I emptied out my barrel, that way it doesn't freeze. Oh, Blue Dream, you've done awesome. Well, I know my battery's going to die soon, so I'm going to start making my way up there. That way I don't have to carry that, because I got to carry a couple other things too. So, and then once we get up to the top, I will show you guys Hazard Buggy and what I have plans for 2026. Alright, so we are back in the nice warm shop, and as you see, there are 3 chassis sitting here. You may recognize one of them. Yep, it's already apart. Because these 3 chassis are all going to get sandblasted this coming week. So obviously I had to take them all apart. And Blue Dream, like I said, is probably going to get sold or traded. I think there's somebody in the King of the Mountain bouncer family that is going to take that. So it won't be in my possession, but it's still going to be on these hills. And if you are new to the channel, we got Hazard Buggy it's named Hazard Buggy for obvious reasons, but this was a chassis that was built by Sam Dubé up in Canada, and all the drivers from my series chipped in and had this chassis built for me, and it was a surprise for me when we went to Oklahoma, the National Rock Racing. They presented it to me. So that's a quick story on this one, and it went up to Sam to, you can see he's got some new bars, well, one new bar, and straightened a couple other ones, and it's still got a little wiggle, but I beat the crap out of this thing. This has been the staple of the channel. It's my background. If you look at the channel, it's Hazard Buggy. So this is kind of the buggy that pretty much helped me build a lot of the pretty gnarly hills that we have here now. And yeah, it's going to be coming back. So if you're curious about my race rig for 2026, this is going to be one of them. I haven't quite decided. This is Cockroach. This is another Sam Dubé chassis with a skidless. So there's no skid, everything mounts to the chassis. If you're ever curious about that, Hazard Buggy has a skid, and Blue Dream also has a skid. Now you can see the difference. But anyways, Cockroach had a front mount transmission with a transfer case and all of that. I'm still undecided. I might be selling this chassis. I'm not quite sure yet. But you're probably wondering, well, what the hell am I doing for 2026? Because at the moment, I only have, if I sell those 2, then I only have Hazard Buggy and Screaming Blue. And we all know Screaming Blue is not a race rig. It's my trail bouncer. But did you really think that was the only thing that came back from Canada? That's all I'm going to say on that. There's another chassis somewhere hidden. But yeah, so that's a quick glimpse of what I got going on for 2026. And thank you guys so much for watching to the end.